Hello again! Alright, this video I'm going to talk about your anthology project, which is your final requirement for the semester. We do have a lot of other stuff in between, but this is the last thing that's due at the end of the semester. So we don't have a final exam in this course, but we do have this anthology project, and this is due what would be the last day of the semester, December 15th, which seems like forever from now, but really is only 2 months from today. So let's go ahead and talk about what this project's all about, what's required of you, and all that sort of good stuff. I'm going to read through the assignment, and as I do every time I make one of these videos, for the few of you who watch these, I do just kind of talk through the details a little bit more. So let's go ahead and talk through those. And again, as usual, I'm split screen, so you might look at me, watch me going back and forth with my eyes, and you're like, that's what's happening. All right, so this is due Saturday, December 15th on Canvas. The length of this, we have two different things here. You have an anthology, which requires you to find 20 sources, and I'll explain what that means in a little bit. That seems like a lot, but how you're finding these sources is not nearly as demanding as you think it will. So you have the 20 sources, and then you also have an analytical reflection, which is 2,000 to 2,500 words, and I'll explain both of those later on. This is 12% of your final grade. And again, you need 20 sources. You're going to document these in APA. Your document design, you're going to use some sort of digital platform, which I'll explain shortly. But you are going to clearly label them or tag each entry. And again, I'll explain those in just a second. And you're going to upload a web link for this assignment. All right, so I have a checklist here. I'm a checklist type of person, so I like creating checklists for larger assignments, especially things that have lots of different moving parts. So let's take a look at this checklist. The first one is going to be sign up for a site or create a new page. And this is going to be referred to as your anthology. So moving forward, as I'm talking about this project, I'll start saying anthology, and that's what I mean, this entire project. Then, once you create your link, you're going to post that link on Canvas. There's a page on Canvas called Anthology Links. All you're going to do is you're going to go there, just like you've signed up for current events. You're going to click the edit button. You're going to type your name, and you're going to copy and paste the link to your anthology, and then you're going to click save. That way I have easy access to all of them. And then if you ever reference any of the articles or links that you're posting, we have easy access to them. So if you ever want to, mention something in one of your questions or answers, and you want to direct somebody there, or even just an easy way for me to access these for just whatever purposes. Also, it gives me an opportunity to make sure that you're posting the links correctly, to make sure that the links all work before the due date. All right, so you're going to post your link on Canvas. Then you're going to find 4 links for each of the following themes. So we have 5 different themes throughout the semester. We haven't encountered all of them yet, but we will. So we have 5 total. So let's take a look. So you're going to find 4 links, and these links will be referred to as artifacts. So when you hear me say artifacts, this is what I'm referring to. So they'll be for each of our themes this semester. The very first one we had, and they all align with the different phases from the semester. Technopanics through history, the future of the body, intelligent systems, which is the phase that we're in now, making and things, and then cyborgs and bioart. So you're going to find 4 links related to those themes. And I'm going to explain that again in just a minute. But again, just going through the checklist. And then you're going to write your analytical reflection. All right, so let's talk about the details of this assignment. All right, so throughout the semester, so I think moving forward, we've been in this, we're halfway through now. We still have half of the semester to go, so I think this is a good point to start really reflecting on what we've done, and then really thinking about how we might be able to represent what we're going to be doing in this type of project. All right, so throughout the semester, you'll collect artifacts from various media sources and assemble an anthology using Tumblr, WordPress, or another blogging platform that allows you to incorporate text and media. At this point, I do encourage you to, if you're not familiar with one of those, familiarize yourself with them. And there are many different ways you could do that. You can Google like Tumblr how-to, WordPress how-to. You can sign up for either of those for a free page. And I will have some samples that I'll post for you later, although I think they might be up, I'm not sure. I do have a couple samples. They're not related to our topic, but you will get the idea of what this type of project looks like by looking at those samples. So anyway, so these types of blogging platforms allow you to incorporate text and media together, and that's really important for this assignment. And so the goal of this assignment is to understand how the topics we read about and discuss throughout the semester are well represented every day. Your first task is to sign up for and or create a new page using one of the sites listed above. You could also use a different site if you'd like to, but those are two of the most popular ones that almost every student uses. In fact, most students use Tumblr. I have a couple WordPress blogs here and there, but I think Tumblr is the easiest one to use for this type of project. But feel free to use whatever's in your wheelhouse. You'll be updating this site throughout the semester, so be sure you're comfortable with the site you choose. Please use the site or page you create for this assignment only. In other words, don't use your personal Tumblr. I don't want to see it. You don't want me to see it. So just create a brand new page for this site. You can title it whatever you want. It's totally flexible, but just to have something devoted to this course only. If you need help signing up for one of these sites, just let me know. I'm happy to help you out. Like I said, you can Google like how-tos online. Lots of people have videos, really, really good videos. Each of those sites have really, really good step-by-step ways to set things up. So I think doing just some quick Google research is really, really useful. But if you are still stuck, I'm absolutely available to help walk you through it. So just shoot me an email or just let me know, and we can go from there. All right, so once you set up your page, you will need to post a link to it on Canvas, as I mentioned above. Go to Pages, click on Anthology Links, and then click Edit. Once you're in edit mode, type your name and post the link. For example, if I were posting my link, it would look like kimlacey:sampleleak.com, whatever. This will make it easier for me to access all your anthologies on one page and for our class to peruse each other's anthologies. Please post your link no later than Sunday, November 4th. So you have a couple weeks still to work on this. To work on just creating the link itself. You have several weeks, 2 months in fact, to work on this project. All right. Your anthology should include a cross-section of materials from a wide variety of media and academic sources. So just like we have for our course, remember we're an open education resources grant course, which means all of our sources are available freely. And so we're mimicking that idea in this project. So your goal is to find sources that are similar to what we talk about in class. It doesn't have to be, this week we're talking about Sophia. It doesn't have to be sources related to Sophia. It can be different robots, or it can be anything along different programs that talk about AI or whatever. But they're related to the course content. And so you could strive for any sort of different types of sources. Articles, local national newspapers, entertainment websites, videos, images, etc. As you gather materials, strive for variety. So you might have a couple different videos paired with a couple articles. Again, very similar to what we do in this class, so very much mimicking what we've been doing in terms of the course content, but now you're creating a bunch of different information. Remember, we're looking to make connections across various ideas from this semester, and your anthology should reflect this goal. You're required to find 4 artifacts for each theme. So you might find 2 videos and 2 articles. You might find 1 video, 1 article, 1 podcast, and an image. Any combination of that. Do not wait to the last minute to collect all 20 artifacts. It does become more time consuming than you realize. So I encourage you to start early and post. If you see something floating around, just post it on your in your anthology. Please note, however, that you cannot use links we directly discuss in class. So, for example, if we watch a YouTube clip or read an article, you cannot use that example in class. Same goes for current events. You can't use any sources you used in other assignments. So you have to find all brand new information. All right, so you cannot, like if I post an article about Sophia, you cannot use that same article about Sophia. You can find something related to it, but you can't use the exact same article I posted. Same thing, like I said, for current events. If you post an article for your current event session, or somebody else posted an article for the current event session, you can't use that in your anthology. So all brand new info. Additionally, I want you to clearly label or tag each link with the name of the part to which it corresponds. So you might have hashtag technopanic through history, hashtag the future of the body. If you're keeping track of it, a lot of students will number them. Hashtag technopanic through history 1, hashtag technopanic through history 2, just so they can remember how many they've already posted. So that's a way of doing it too. Or you could even put it in the title. Sometimes if you use WordPress, you have to title each entry. So you could put each title Technopanic through history 1, Technopanic through history 2. However you want to do that. But just as a way to keep your entries organized and for you to keep track of how many you've already found. It's a nice way of doing that. All right, so by the end of the semester, you will examine your collection and write an analytical reflection. So after you've found all 20 sources, you're going to write an analytical reflection talking about all of them. Well, not all of them, but kind of like the idea of them in general. You don't have to talk about all 20 sources. You can pick and choose a few from each section. I think that's a wise move. A lot of students pick, maybe 2 from each section to talk about. Talking about all 20 sources can be pretty intense. So I think picking 2 from each section to talk about in your analytical reflection is effective. All right, this analytical reflection will explain the patterns or anomalies about the examples you've selected, as well as draw conclusions about the significance of these examples taken as a whole. Your analytical reflection will also be posted on your site. So what you're doing in your analytical reflection is you are reflecting on the sources that you found. So why are these good examples of cyborgs and bioart? And what do cyborgs and bioart tell us about intelligent systems? Or what do they tell us about techno fears, right? So, or techno panics, so your links that you find are really connected to the different ideas that you've been posting in each different section. So I really am looking for you to reflect on how they connect the different parts of your anthology. So as you're writing your analytical reflection, I want you to think about the following. As you peruse the media and make your selections, focus on texts that urge a particular way of thinking about the themes we've discussed in relation to one another. Look for the obvious message as well as the hidden ones and try to determine whether the selected texts and images appeal to a traditional way of thinking about technology, challenge it, or both, and how. So they give us this way of, oh wow, we're always really scared of technology. Or, you know what, we're really optimistic about it. Maybe being optimistic is a bad thing, maybe it's a good thing. But this is your point to say, well, all the links I found really show that we're really scared of technology. What is this? What does this theme mean? Like, how do I see this theme playing out? What story does it tell? How does it tell that story? What might someone understand about these ideas by just glancing at the titles, or by reading each piece in detail? Your analytical reflection should not simply summarize the sources you included in your anthology. In your reflection, be sure to spend time making connections between the different themes. As I said before, maybe you find something about cyborgs or bioart that kind of speak to something about techno fears that we talked about at the very beginning of the semester. So you really want to kind of link these ideas together. Finally, you should make specific reference and connections to our class discussions and course materials. So you might say, wow, this really reminded me of a question that somebody asked before, or this was really relevant to one of the current event discussions that we had, or maybe something you mentioned in one of your videos was really made me think about this theme a little bit differently. So make some specific connections to the things that we're talking about in class. All right, and even though you're posting your analytical reflection on your anthology, and by what I mean by that is you're gonna open up a new post in your blog, and you can type it out in Word or whatever if you want to, and copy and paste it into a new post, totally fine. But everything will be contained in the anthology. It must be written in essay format, including citations where necessary. You can always link to the specific artifact to which you're referring, but always include an in-text citation. You should also include a works cited page at the end of your analytical reflection, noting just the examples you discussed in it. Remember I said you have to just discuss a couple examples from each part? So in your works cited page, it will only have those examples that you discussed. And then grading. As with grading this semester, I'll be referring to the English 212 rubric while assessing your work. then I'll be looking for specific connections between the links, class discussions, readings, and your personal insights. That's a lot. I'm going to post a couple samples, or I'm going to double check that they're up there. If they're not, I'll post those today. But that's our anthology assignment. As always, if you have questions or concerns or anything, shoot me an email. I'm really happy to help you out on this. I think once you look at the samples, you'll see how it's supposed to be set up, and it won't seem as daunting. But if you are having some struggles with it, I'm always here to walk you through it. So let me know if you need my help. All right, bye.